Okay, I am Alana Green, Acting Executive Director of the Community Development Administration. And on behalf of the City of St. Louis, Mayor Slay, and the staff of CDA, I want to sincerely thank you for attending our second annual awards ceremony. Community Development Week is celebrated nationwide, and it gives us an opportunity to highlight the programs that we fund, our HUD-funded programs. Through the use of CDBG and home funds, we fund some really outstanding programs and projects, some of which will be highlighted this evening. Others have been highlighted this week through our resources fair, bus tour, and upcoming day of service. Excuse me. This award ceremony and our other activities during the week could not be possible without our sponsors. We want to thank Commerce Bank, Enterprise Holdings, and the St. Louis Community Credit Union. We truly appreciate your partnership, and we look forward to working with you again soon. This evening, we're very fortunate to have the 16-time Emmy Award winner, Mr. Frank Cusimano from News Channel 5 as our MC. So without further ado, I'm going to bring him up to the podium. Please welcome.
Thank you, Alonda. A lot of you are probably wondering why I am here tonight, and I'm wondering that too. What actually happened was I was outside earlier today washing Mike Bush's car, and the boss said, you should do this event. You meet some fine people who've achieved a lot. So it's my pleasure and honor to be here. Now, before we get going, I want to tell you a quick little story. In our business, if our newscast and our sportscast are going pretty well, we all get kind of a false sense of confidence. We just think, wow, this is really working well. The video's popping up. I'm not stumbling. The director's right in my ear. Everything's great. So the other day, I was on this little roll of about 15 straight sportscasts where everything was perfect. So I get home, and my wife is there, and she says, she's just about to leave. She says, I have a box in the entrance hall closet, and I need you to stay away from it. And I said, okay, great. So she leaves, and I immediately go to the entrance hall closet. And in this box was an egg carton with 3 eggs and $900 cash. I thought, this is really strange. So she comes back, and I said, look, I gotta confess, I went there. What's the story? Why would you have 3 eggs in a carton? And she said, well, every time you make a complete fool out of yourself on the air, I put an egg in the carton. And I thought, well, you know, I've been here for 23 years, only 3 eggs. And I said, what about the $900 cash? She says, well, when I fill the carton with eggs, I sell them. So she humbles me quite a bit. All right, here we go. Youth Program of the Year. This year we're honoring 2 programs that provide job opportunities and training to our city youth. The STL Youth Jobs is the collective brainchild of a diverse group of funders, individuals, businesses, nonprofits, and civic leaders, including the City of St. Louis's Mayor's Office, the Greater St. Louis Community Foundation, MERS Goodwill, the Incarnate Word Foundation, and the St. Louis Youth Violence Prevention Task Force. The Youth Employment Program began in the summer of 2013, and they've been able to employ 200 youth. In 2015, CDA awarded $100,000 in community development block grant funds to MERS Goodwill for its work with STL Youth Jobs. The organization develops and implements the program with the support of a variety of other community partners, including the Greater St. Louis Community Foundation. Through CDA funding, MERS was able to train and employ 71 low and moderate income youth. And then we have the St. Louis Internship Program. They provide hope and opportunity for high school students in financial need through paid summer internships, intensive employment opportunities. They train year-round. They do career planning. They do it all. The program works in partnership with businesses and community organizations to develop motivated, well-trained, and talented future employees. So, on behalf of the City of St. Louis and the Community Development Administration, please join me in congratulating MERS Goodwill and the St. Louis Internship Program for receiving the Youth Program of the Year Awards. So now we have the Municipal Program of the Year, Problems Properties team. Now let me get this straight. Everybody here is receiving an award tonight, right? I mean, I want to make sure of this. Is this correct? That because if you're here, you're winning? Oh, supporting. Good. Because I got to tell you, when we have the Emmys in television, it's the worst night of your life. Because if you lose, you just feel like, you know, they say you're all winners if you're nominated. No, you're not. You feel terrible if you lose. So I feel good about this because everybody's here to support or to win an award. This is nice. All right. So the 2016 Municipal Program of the Year is being awarded to the which consists of the City Councilor's Office, Public Safety, and Municipal Court. Now, the goal of the Problem Properties team is to effectively pursue legal remedies to problem properties throughout the city of St. Louis. For over 10 years, this program has proactively addressed housing code and related ordinance violations that affect the quality of life for low to moderate income persons who may not have the strong voice to defend themselves against landlords of substandard housing units. So within this process, each department plays an essential role. The City Councilor's Office helps to identify and locate owners of derelict properties and prosecute property owners for occupancy violations. They also assist owners in evicting nuanced tenants for illegal activities and place liens on abandoned properties if necessary. So the Problem Property team has been an overwhelming success, resulting in many private sales of property, rehabilitation of numerous properties which have been vacant for a long period of time, and the elimination of other problems. So on behalf of the St. Louis and Community Development Administration, please join me in congratulating the Public Safety Department, the City Councilor's Office, and the Municipal Court for receiving the Municipal Program of the Year award. Now, accepting the award for the City Councilor's Office is Matt Moak, accepting for Public Safety is Dottie McDowell, and accepting for the Municipal Court is Emmanuel Knie. Come on up and receive your awards. Okay, so we have the Public Improvement Project of the Year, the St. Louis Community Credit Union. Now, they were established in 1965. Gateway Bank, located at 3412 North Union, was the first and only minority commercial bank in Missouri. Gateway retained its minority-owned association until 2001, and the bank continued to retain a largely African-American staff and shareholder status until it closed in 2012. At the time Gateway Bank announced that it was closing, St. Louis was the third highest underbanked African-American community in the U.S., according to the FDIC. Well, after the closing of the Gateway Bank, the St. Louis Community Credit Union was approached by community members, including the NAACP, who knew of its good work. The credit union eventually purchased the property and secured funding to assist in the construction of the Gateway branch facility on the site. With the assistance of $500,000 in community development block grant funds in March of 2016, the credit union opened its new Gateway branch. The credit union's efforts to preserve the history of the former bank can be seen in the lobby of the Gateway branch, which is adorned with a gallery of vintage photographs that pay tribute to Gateway and its founders. The new state-of-the-art facility will provide underbanked residents in North St. Louis with access to a full-service financial institution in addition to credit-building products, second-chance checking accounts, a payday loan alternative, and hands-on financial education. That's something else. So on behalf of the City of St. Louis and the Community Development Administration, please join me in congratulating the St. Louis Community Credit Union for receiving the Public Improvement Project of the Year Award. Lana's getting in more photographs tonight than the mayor. Good work. So now we move to the Outstanding Service Award, Joanne Spitali. This year, we're celebrating a member of the CDA staff who's been employed with the City of St. Louis for 50 years. She began her employment with the city in 1966 as a clerk typist 1 with the city's health department's tuberculosis control, X-ray department at the health center at Grandin Park, and although she has many stories to tell about her time in the TB clinic, she transferred to the City Plan Commission in October of 1968. She served as the receptionist to the commission until 1974, when the Community Development Agency was formed by consolidation of the City Plan Commission, the Missouri Builders Development Commission, and the Beautification Commission. Since 1976, Joanne has served as the executive secretary to the CDA director, working directly under Stephen Acree, Gene Gordon, Joan Kelly Horn, John Rata, Kathy Reeves, Jill Claybor, Bill Rata, Fred Wessels, and currently Alana Green. When asked what she likes most about her job with the CDA, Joanne stated that she loves her job. She enjoys the camaraderie, and her work with the payroll and personnel-related matters help her to feel useful. She is indeed an asset to CDA and the city as a whole, and we congratulate her on her 50th anniversary. On behalf of the City of St. Louis and the Community Development Administration, please join me in congratulating Joanne for receiving this Outstanding Service Award. I'm interviewing the only Italian here tonight besides myself.
Oh, no, there's more.
Oh, there's more? Good to hear. All right, we'll go to the hill afterwards, okay? Your name is, you're Cusimano? Wow, you got the attractive gene, and I had to deal with this. Nice to meet you. All right, so 50 years, and you're still excited about going to work?
Yes, yes. As long as I have my health, I have good people to work with and for, I'm going to continue working for the city.
Wow, that's awesome. So, if you've been at it for 50 years, you obviously started this job when you were 9, 10?
Right out of my mother's womb.
Congratulations, Joanne. Good work. Are you really Cusimanos over there? Oh. My mom always said to not recognize any relatives because they're all in organized crime. It's nice to know that. Is that right? Oh, boy. We got a lot to talk about. All right, now let's go to the Executive Director of the Year, Mary Lou Green. She's the Executive Director of Brightside St. Louis, which works hand in hand with Operation Brightside, a HUD-funded program. She's been the executive director since 1990, and under her leadership, Brightside continues to improve the quality of life of city residents by educating, engaging, and inspiring them to make the region cleaner, greener, and more environmentally sustainable. CDA funds have been used for many years to support cleanup, graffiti removal, and beautification programs at Brightside. Each year, Brightside and its thousands of volunteers invest more than 20,000 hours planting and maintaining gardens all across St. Louis. In addition, the program is directly responsible for the removal of tons. Mary Lou is known for her warm spirit and friendly smile. Through her leadership, Brightside has grown and continues to provide a great example of corporate and community collaborations. Mary Lou is committed to the Brightside organization in the city of St. Louis, and therefore we are pleased to present her with the 2016 Executive Director of the Year Award. Come on up, Mary Lou. Okay. Next up is the Community Advocate of the Year Award, Michael P. McMillan. Michael is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis. Now, in this capacity, he's responsible for overseeing the management and strategic growth of the agency throughout the St. Louis City, County, and St. Clair counties. Well, that's a lot of territory there. The Urban League of Metropolitan St. Louis is the #1 ranked affiliate in the country with almost 200 employees, 10 locations, and 25 programs. Through Mike's leadership, Urban League programs such as the Federation of Block Units, employment programs, and the Save Our Sons initiatives continues to prosper. Mike has been affiliated with the Urban League since the age of 16 when he became a member. In fact, he's been a lifetime member for over 14 years. He's also previously served as a member of the Urban League's Board of Directors. Of all levels of society, Mike works to create self-sufficiency and economic empowerment for others. McMillan is a passionate advocate of education and a strong supporter of senior citizens. Mike also created the Salute to Women in Leadership over 10 years ago to recognize women who've given far beyond the call of duty to the disadvantaged and underserved. Michael McMillan is a native of St. Louis, Missouri, a graduate of Bishop DeBerg High School and St. Louis U with a degree in African American Studies and a minor in political science with an emphasis on finance. Prior to joining the Urban League, Mike served as the license collector of the city of St. Louis. Does that mean you're collecting fees for parking tickets? No. Okay, good, because I owe a lot of money. Boy, what a career, though. Man, and all I do is talk about sports on television. Gosh. So he's represented approximately 20,000 businesses and collected approximately $60 million in business tax revenues annually that were redistributed to city agencies. So on behalf of the City of St. Louis and the Community Development Administration, please join me in congratulating Michael McMillan for receiving the Community Advocate of the Year Award. What a career. Another reason to like Michael, he told me that Kemal's is his favorite restaurant. It happens to be my family's restaurant, 421-0555 for reservations. All right. I would like to bring in a guy with a really cool last name, Bill Rattah, to the podium for remarks on this year's Housing Awards. Bill, come on up.
Good evening. The need for quality housing is vital to the residents of the city, regardless of whether they live in an apartment or a home that they own. We all probably spend more time at home than any place else, and we all desire to live somewhere that is comfortable, safe, and pleasant. A quality housing stock helps to produce a strong neighborhood and make it a place where people want to live. Therefore, much of the work we do at CDA, as well as that of many of you in this room, focuses on providing quality housing. A total of 15 staff persons at CDA are directly involved in housing activities. I would like to ask that all of the CDA staff here tonight that works in housing to stand up for a second. All right. Thank you, they all work very hard. So, ranging from minor home repairs like installing a handrail to major repairs such as replacing a roof, or from new construction of affordable rental units to a gut rehabilitation of a long-time vacant house, the work that many of you all do, supported with funds from CDA, plays a significant role in making the city a better place in which to reside. The funding that we receive from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development through Community Development Block Grants, the Home Investment Partnership Program, and HUD-led grants enable us to provide funding for these projects, and we are grateful to HUD as well. We'll be presenting a total of 3 housing awards tonight, and I will turn it back over to Frank.
So we move to the 2016 CDA Housing Development of the Year Award, and it goes to Botanical Heights Apartments. They've been involved in the complete rehab of multiple buildings along South 39th Street, one of the main thoroughfares in the area in the Botanical Heights and Tiffany neighborhoods. This is a highly visible development area, and they provide significant historic context within the neighborhood. The project greatly improved the curb appeal of the area, which helps to spur additional investments such as street and sidewalk improvements and the renovations of other neighboring buildings. So the property is targeted by the development team of Duffy and Nuremberger Real Estate Consulting and Filoni Real Estate were in severe state of disrepair for over 20 years. The development team also formed a unique agreement with Liberty Bank out of Alton, who joined the team as limited partner in addition to providing project financing. So the newly renovated buildings were designed to conform to historic district standards. And some of the new apartment homes feature a combo of live and work space. They offer affordable 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3 bedrooms. This residential development project was recently completed in January of 2016. And special attention was given to energy efficient, and the new apartment homes are Energy Star certified. Once vacant storefront spaces are now occupied with residential tenants. So this was a complex effort involving many different facets, especially gaps in construction and development financing. So to be successful, this project required a substantial investment from both the private and the public sector. The plan also received strong local support from the neighborhood and other community groups. So, for these reasons, Botanical Heights Department has been selected for CDA's Housing Development of the Year Award. Accepting the award on behalf of the project is Wayne Falany. Wayne, come on up.
Thanks. I'm going to just take a few moments to announce, and recognize some people that made this all happen. Frank had all the details down to the T. This is a project that took about 2.5 years to finally come to fruition and completion. And it was a collaborative effort with important agencies, and of course the Community Development Agency was one of the collaborative partners. And of course we had the Garden District Commission board, which is the executive director is Tom Pickle, and at that time Bob Hurlith was the executive vice president of the Missouri Botanical Gardens and their board. They focused on one property that was on their vision plan, and we had our properties that we acquired through a bank that had problems with these properties at one point in time. It is a major thoroughfare, and it was a project worth doing, and the time was worth it because it affected 3 different community neighborhoods. It affected the Tiffany neighborhood, it affected the Botanical Heights neighborhood, and all the residents of the Shaw neighborhood, because everybody goes up and down this avenue every day to and from work and with their daily chores and lives. There's so many people that are involved here, but I think it's worth recognizing and knowing and understanding the components, because it's just not about myself and Ken Nuremberger and Liberty Bank. And Ken sends his regards to everyone tonight. He's out of the country. He'll be returning tomorrow. He was very happy to be honored with this award also. But there's so many unique sets of circumstances. And for example, one was that the lender, Liberty Bank of Alton, Illinois, is not only the lender, but they're an investor partner. And this took a clearance from Washington, D.C. It's on the books, it's a law, it's nothing that was created new for this project, but no one had ever used this mechanism before. And Ed Kasten, the senior vice president of Alton, of Liberty Bank, has done business in the city of St. Louis, and I think it's a real credit to banks that are willing to take risks, come into the city of St. Louis, and know that it's a viable investment. I mean, that sets inroads, and I hope many other banks do the same thing in the future. So we've got that part of our team, and then, you know, we have to have a plan, and we have to have someone draw it and design it. And we have a group of Franciscan friars that needed a residence, but they had communal housing needs. So we had our architect, Brambilla Architects and Planners, Jeff Brambilla, and his associate, Tracy Perotti, designed one of those unique spaces, plus designed the new building that we had at the end, and they did a fabulous job for us. Going down the list, somebody had to build it. And E.M. Harris Construction, Phil Krull and Don Buckmuller were just wonderful to work with. They did a great job. They got sensitivity to the historic needs of the city. The other thing is somebody has to kind of write all the paperwork and get it all, the dots and T's crossed. And we want to thank Tom Duda with Rosenblum, Golden Hirsch. He did a great job, put endless hours into it. There were so many technical things beyond my capacity to understand sometimes, but they did it. And then of course we have to have aldermanic support. This project actually sits in 2 wards. It sits in the 19th ward, Alderwoman Marlene Davis. This is a portion there, and then Alderman Joe Rohde in the 17th ward. And on the same street, we have 3 different wards. So Alderman Rohde, Marlene Davis, and at the bottom is the 8th ward with Steve Conway. When development happens, it gets infectious, and sometimes other good things happen. And I think CDA is responsible for this, because when we had this project completed, we got to include one building that the Garden District Commission wanted, and it was on Lafayette. It was at the bottom of the lane. But right underneath the other side of the highway was another problem property. And as soon as Alderman Conway knew that Alderman Rohde and Alderman Davis were going with this project, he got the wheels spinning to acquire this last property. It is not part of our project, but it's something for the future, and it has stimulated more redevelopment and good things for our neighborhood. The Botanical Heights Neighborhood Association, Nancy Simeonoglu, Tiffany Neighborhood Association, Laura McCarthy, the Garden District Commission, not only Tom Pickle and Bob Hurlith, but there's an outstanding board of community people that were there behind us all the time. At CDA, Jill Claybor was in the beginning. That's how long it's taken this project to go, and Jill has since left. But Marion Miller and her staff were wonderful. Kate Feit, helping our office, my office, with the home program and the protocol and the paperwork and the qualifying. And Matt Sissel, I know, did some consulting in the back. And to anybody else who had their hands on this project, I want to thank you. T&D Consulting, that's Ken Nurnberger's business. He and Michelle Duffy owned that property, that business. And we had to have somebody coordinate all this paperwork and funding and everything and keep us on a time schedule. And a special thanks to Mary Nagel. She was just outstanding to keep everything going. The last but not least is that they said that, you know, things got rented up. And that's where my business comes in, because we're in management and sales. And these 24 units are almost all rented up. 4 of the existing 5 tenants were qualified for the home program, because we did use home funds. And all that was done by my office manager and leasing agent, and that's Julie Rowe, and she's here tonight, and a special thank you to her. The day-to-day operations for this project was done by Jerry Conley, my assistant. And right now, we're almost at 100% occupancy. In closing, on behalf of the Botanical Heights Associates, I would like to thank you once again, the City of St. Louis, CDA, for the award and the recognition of this project. May our city continue to prosper and grow. Thank you.
Okay, next up we have the Housing Developer of the Year, and it's the Allman Builders. Allman Builders has partnered with the city's Community Development Administration and the Land Reutilization Authority on many successful efforts in 2015, with the completion of several for-sale, rehab, and new construction efforts, and work underway for several more. Allman Builders recently completed and sold 4739 Atkins. It's a 3-bedroom home located near Bevo Mill. They're currently working on the rehab of a single-family home at 4434 Virginia and 3 townhomes off of Texas Street. These buildings were previously acquired by LRA as part of the city's neighborhood stabilization program. Allman Builders also recently received a CDBG funding for the rehabilitation of 3525 Illinois, houses on Michigan, Indiana, and Nebraska, and Ohio. Located in the Marine Villa, Dutchtown, and Gravois Park neighborhoods, these projects will also involve the rehabilitation of LRA-owned property acquired through the city's NSP targeting efforts. So the efforts by Allman Builders in 2015 accomplished many of the CDA goals. As well as rehabilitation of several other vacant buildings. Their development projects represent the diverse workforce by frequently exceeding the minority-owned business enterprise and women-owned business enterprise participation goals. Their work tackles neighborhood blight and reduces the potential for crime by replacing vacant and unsafe buildings with substantial homes. These quality homes are also marketed as affordable housing opportunities, being made specifically available to low, moderate, and middle-income residents of the City of St. Louis. So, on behalf of the City of St. Louis and the Community Development Administration, please join me in congratulating Allman Builders for receiving the Housing Developer of the Year Award. Tim didn't want to talk. I wish our weather people would do a little less of that, you know? Because when they go long, we get less time for sports. Does anybody really need to hear about the dew point? I mean, raise your hand if you know what the dew point really is. See? And all they take away time from sports. They just go on and on and on. Just give us the 7-day forecast. Do I sound bitter? Yes, I am. I've been cut time for years. All right. Our Housing Program of the Year Award, Healthy Home Repair Staff. The Healthy Home Repair Program assists low and moderate income city homeowners with rehab of owner-occupied properties by offering two types of repair services. First, the program provides for priority repairs in order to address a building component that poses a serious or safety issue, such as a lack of water, heat, or electrical problems that pose a fire hazard. Second, a comprehensive track is provided which requires that any repairs necessary to achieve full building code compliance are completed. The program is available citywide and is targeted to homeowners who meet the HUD low to moderate income guidelines at 80% or less of the area median income and have owned and occupied their homes for at least 2 years. There are three groups responsible for the success of the Healthy Home Repair Program. This is CDA, the Building Division, and Home Services. During the 2015 year, the Building Division completed 198 initial code inspections and lead hazard risk assessments. They also issued over 200 building permits, performed several hundred interim and final inspections. This was all done with only 3 healthy home repair inspectors and 1 supervisor. So they were busier than our sports department. The staff at Home Services closed a total of 278 loans in 2015, which represented an increase of 23% in totals from 2014. They committed a total of $3.1 million overall, which includes $1.7 million in CDBG and $1 million in home funds. They also conducted several hundred inspections, developed over 200 scopes of work, and held weekly bid walkthroughs. So during 2015, besides overseeing the entire program and coordinating efforts, CDA Home Repair staff reduced the citywide waiting list by 44%, handled thousands of calls on the home repair hotline, and processed 378 applications. So please, okay, yeah, take that, it's good. So please join me in congratulating the Healthy Home Repair staff on its Housing Program of the Year Award. Bill Rattau will present the awards to Frank Oswald of the Building Division and the Healthy Home Repair Program staff from Home Services and CDA. Come on up.
So accepting the award from the Building Division is Frank Oswald, Building Commissioner. Everybody? Okay. And from Home Services, Jane Bassler, Ahmad Rogers, Cassandra Strong, Katie Mantilla, and Yvonne Fisher. And from our staff here at CDA, Melzinia Hill, Barbara Pepper, and Tayo Afawape. Everybody? Everybody.
Thank you.
So let me get this straight. Nobody lost here tonight. Nobody was like up for award and lost, right? This is the way awards should be. I mean, last year at the Emmys, I went 0 for 5. And I may or may not have stuck out my leg the last time I lost and had the guy trip. But this is the way it should be. Everybody feeling good. Now, we're going to close things out with Alana Green with some final remarks. All right, Alana, come on up.
Hi. On behalf of the city and CDA, I want to thank you again for coming to our awards ceremony. This is indeed a joint effort throughout the Community Development Week. I want to again thank our sponsors, Commerce Bank, Enterprise Holdings, and St. Louis Community Credit Union. I also want to thank our staff who's worked really hard this week, often late hours, to execute. And so could you all stand, including Joanne, you've been a big help too. And there's actually a few in the back at the table, but I want to personally thank you all for participating and helping. Over the years, they've been tasked with doing more with less, and they've stepped up to the challenge every single time, and we definitely appreciate you and all that you do. So I want to thank you for that. Another clap for you guys. And I also want to thank our former director who kind of snuck in the back, Fred Wessels. Most of these, all of these activities happened during his tenure with CDA. So thanks again, Fred, and congratulations to you. So again, I want to thank you for participating tonight, and please drive safely, and hope to see you next year.